Uh,
Today, our group will discuss the question: Why do some people study history? What are some benefits of being good at history? So, Huyền, can you go first?
yes, that's actually a really interesting question. I think being good at history bringing a lot of benefits, but if I have to choose one, I would say it helps us understand the present better. Like when we look at the world today, many things don't just happen randomly. They are usually a result of past event. event. For example, relationships between countries, conflict, or even cultural difference often come from history. If we don't study it, we might misunderstand what is going on. Also, I think history helps us see how much the world has changed when we compare life in the past with today. We can see improvement in technology, education, and living conditions that make us um, appreciate the present more. Personally, I feel like without history, everything would feel disconnected. We wouldn't really know why things are the way they are. So yeah, for me, history is not just about the past. It's actually a way to understand the present more clearly. But I'm not sure if that is the most important benefit. Maybe there's something more practical.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I agree to some extent. But honestly, I think the most important benefit of history is learning from mistakes. I mean, if we look at the past, there are so many examples of failure, war, bad leadership decision, economic crisis, and all of these cause serious consequences. So, by studying history, we can understand what went wrong and try not to repeat it. For example, after major war, many countries became more careful about maintaining. But I, I think without this lesson, people might repeat the same mistake again and again, which would be really dangerous. Also, history doesn't just teach government, it teaches individual too. Like we can learn pattern, responsibility, and better decision making. So yeah, understanding the present is important, but I still think avoiding mistake is more useful in real life. What do you think?
Um, I think both your ideas make sense, but I personally see history in a slightly different way. For me, the biggest benefit is that it helps develop our thinking skills. When we study history, we don't just memorize facts. We have to analyze events, understand causes and effects, and sometimes even question we read. For example, different sources might describe the same event in different ways, so we need to think critical and decide what is reliable. That really trains our brain. And honestly, I think this skill is very important, not just in history, but in everyday life. it helps us make better decisions and understand problems from different perspectives. Also, history teaches us to ask questions like, "What did this hap- Why did this happen?" Or "Could this have been avoided?" That's a very useful habit. So, besides thinking skills, we feel like history is also connected to something more personal, like identity. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually for me the most important benefits of history is help us understand our identity and control. When we study history, we learn about where we come from, what our country has been through, and what values people had in the past. This helps us feel more connected to our nation. For example, when we learn about Vietnamese history, especially war or important events, we can feel proud of our country and respect previous generations. So I think history help us understand tradition and cultural difference between countries. Without history, we might lose our sense of identity. And honestly, I think this is very important, especially for young people. If we don't understand our roots, it's easy to feel lost. So, yeah, in my opinion, history is not only about knowledge or skills, but also about who are as people. Thank you. And
Mm, so overall, I think we all have different ideas, but maybe that's the point. History is History is important in many ways. It helps us understand the present, avoid mistakes, think better, and understand ourselves. Thank you.